Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Override's first Redstone tutorial. With this tutorial, we're going to go over the absolute beginnings of Redstone, how to get everything started. If you already have a general idea of Redstone, you might want to skip this. This is going to be real basics. But basically, you first want to start off by finding some redstone. So you look around, oh hey, we found some redstone. So what you want to typically do is redstone can only be mined with a pickaxe that's either steel, gold, or diamond. Now typically they'll spawn between 3 and 5 redstone per block that you mine. You're going to get about an average of 4. So you'll find these typically near the lava layer. If you find some lava, try digging around it, you're most likely going to find redstone. This stuff is pretty prevalent, and you'll see it around the place. I'm going to mine all this away and skip forward so you guys can see what we're going to do once we mine out all the redstone. Alright, now that we've got our redstone supply, you see it's this red right here, we're going to start finding some ways to do with this. Basically, what happens is when you right-click the ground, you place wires, and these wires can be powered by different means. The first basic mean is to make a redstone torch. That's basically just a redstone and a stick, and you make a torch like this. Similar to the normal torches, but they don't give off as much light. When you place the redstone torch to connect to the wires are now powered. This is what it looks like when they have this redness on them. So you take the torch away, and they're not powered, and then you place the torch, and they become powered. Now, this power can only be taken 15 blocks away from the original torch. So if you keep placing these, eventually the power won't be able to go as far as you can see. The way we get around this is by adding a NOT gate, which basically, whatever input is coming into it, it inverts the gate and displays the exact opposite. This can be done by placing a block that now becomes powered, and then we place another torch by making the same configuration from before, and that torch now is turned off. Now when I turn this one on, take this one away, that one now turns on and displays the exact opposite. So this can be used to invert your signals, or if your signal needs to be carried further, this will repeat the signal. So you see this is off and that's on over there. Different ways to adjust the signal: you can add switches, which can be made using cobblestone and sticks. Place a cobble on the bottom and a stick on the top, and you get a switch. These switches can be placed on the block, and then that will alter the block. As you see, that is now powered, and then our signal all the way down there is also powered, like so. Switches can be placed in the on or off position, and when you put it in the on position, it will stay in the on position until you turn it back on with until you turn it back off, like so. Now, another method of altering a signal is using buttons by placing 2 smooth stone on top of each other. A button will be pressed, and then in about a second it'll turn off again. This can be useful if you just want a signal to activate something and then immediately turn itself off. Another method of using this would be to make either a wooden or stone pressure plate. Now these two act slightly different, but they have the basic concept. The wooden pressure plate can be made by using wood, and the smooth pressure plate is used by making smooth stone, 3 of them across. Now, the wooden pressure plate can be activated when somebody stands on it, or if an item is dropped on it, like so. The stone pressure plate can only be activated when somebody stands on it, and cannot be activated when there's an item dropped on it. See, it doesn't turn on, but when a person stands on it, it also works. Now that we understand those basic concepts, we're going to work on something that's actually very practical. What we're going to do is we're going to make a door. Now doors can also be influenced by if any kind of electrical current comes into them. So let's say we have our little house. This is going to simulate the house. Okay, and everything else around it is our house. Now, we have a door to our house. Now, normally you have to walk in, punch the door, turn around, punch the door again, and then do your business. When you leave, you have to punch the door again, turn around, punch the door, and then leave. Kind of uncivilized, and it takes a lot of unnecessary time. Now, there's many ways you can get this to work. You can put a button next to it, and then press the button, the door opens automatically, and you walk through it. With Fraps it's kind of lagging a little bit, because that gets a little annoying because you have to walk through it really quickly. Not so great. So we get rid of the button, and we could try a switch. Now a switch on the door will make it so that when you press the switch, the door opens and you walk through. The only thing is the door stays open. Say you got a creeper following you, that creeper's going to come right into your house. You don't want that. So the switch is nice, but it can get a little unnecessary if you want to try something a little easier. My favorite way is to make it so the door only opens when you're inside of it. I'm going to make another pressure plate. Wooden pressure plates work really nice. They look nice. You can use stone if you'd like. I like using wood for this. So you go, walk right through. You don't have to punch it, you don't have to do nothing, it just walks right through. Now if you make a second one, all you have to do is place it one behind the door, because the door swings open this way, and it'll activate that door. And then it'll close it behind you. So you walk through, the door closes behind you. Now this is really easy, and it makes it nice, it makes it very smooth and fluid when entering and exiting your home. You could have it so that when you enter it, you can have it so you punch it open, turn around, and the door shuts behind you. Say if there's like a zombie or a creeper coming up behind you, they cannot get in your door anyway unless you stand on this pressure plate. So when you leave your door, it's really fluid, and when you want to come in, you just punch it open, and then the door shuts automatically behind you. Kind of a nice little time saver, and it's super simple. You actually don't even need redstone, you just have to know the concept of how the current works. Say you want to get a little bit more clever with your locks. You want someone to, or if you're trying to keep something safe in this house, you want to keep it secure. So you have these 3 switches on it. Now, for the sake of this, we're going to say that this switch is what's going to open that door, and the rest of these are dead switches. So what that means is, if we take this, let's see, it's going to be right, let's see if I can mark this. 1, 2, 3 in. 2, 3, okay. So that this door, or the door will be wired to this switch. Alright, this should work. When you flip the switch, the door opens. Pretty clever. So someone has to know which switch to open in order to get the door to open. Now the thing is, this is pretty easy to find. Somebody walks up to it and just brute forces it. They can figure out it pretty easily. In my next video, I'm going to show how to sync these up using logic gates and get it so that a certain combination will only open the door correctly. So while you're doing that, keep tinkering around with these, and check the Minepedia site about electricity. It'll show a lot of good ideas, and if you're trying to do something, that's a good place to start. I'll leave the link in the description, and if you guys have any comments and ideas of what you want me to tutorial, if you have any like specific projects I'm going to work on, you can ask me about it, and I'll be sure to try to cover it. I'm going to start doing projects involving minecarts too, and also projects on how to make vaults, and specifically impenetrable vaults that can be used on servers that absolutely nobody can break into unless you know a specific combination. So I will see you guys then, and keep in tune.